It's time for another quick look at the Premier League title, UEFA qualification and safety races going into game week 18. If you're playing Fantasy Premier or in almost any sports league really and want to get all sorts of geeky data on it, check out the PlayoffComputer app at the Play Store. It is what is being used here for the calculations. On to the title and UEFA races. Starting with Liverpool, of course. They beat the Spurs to expand their lead over Chelsea, and keep in mind they have a game still to make up. They are now a 44% mathematical chance to take the title and 85 for UEFA. Not quite halfway through the season, so the projections could still be fluid, but with most of the rest of the field just beating each other up, the rough projection for Liverpool to take the title is a mere 76 points. That will likely rise if Chelsea, Arsenal, or some other team start making a serious run. For UEFA, we're looking at around 65 points. And not that anyone was really worried about this, but they could lose every remaining game and still make safety. Liverpool gets Leicester next to further build up their momentum. Next up is Chelsea, who couldn't keep pace with a mere tie against Everton. Puts them down to about a 1 in 5 chance for the title, but 2 out of 3 for UEFA. They'll need to do a lot more winning and a lot less tying to get to around the 79 points they're projected to need at the moment for the title. They have another potentially troublesome game against Fulham before finishing up the first half of the season with lowly Ipswich. Arsenal managed to get off the tie bandwagon and beat Crystal Palace to stay 6 points back. About 1 in 8 to get the title. Little better than 50-50 for UEFA. They host Ipswich for a good opportunity to stay in the title picture. Nottingham Forest continuing their magical journey through the first half of the season with a win over Brentford to remain 4th in the table. While odds for the title are slowly diminishing, still not a negligible number mathematically to sneak away with it. About 4 and 10 for UEFA. Next 3 are against the bottom half of the table, Spurs, Everton, and their second match with the Wolves. Bournemouth is another team having a pleasant surprise of a season so far. Just beat Manchester United to reach 28 points, which puts them at around 1 and 4 to make UEFA. They finish up the first half with Crystal Palace and Fulham. Aston Villa got back on the track with a win over Manchester City, also at 28 points and also around 1 and 4 for UEFA. Couple of crucial games to finish up the first half, Newcastle and Brighton. And that brings us to the slumping Manchester City squad. Have lost 2 in a row and find themselves a far cry from their expectations. Down to about 50-1 to get the title and 5-1 against even reaching UEFA. Almost to must-win territory. They do get Everton and Leicester next to try to get back in it. Newcastle has beaten a couple of the cellar dwellers to sneak up the charts. Now around 17% for UEFA. A few tough matches coming up, so we'll see if they can continue the run. Aston Villa, Manchester United, and the Spurs. Moving on to the opposite end of the field, let's look at the race for safety. Southampton, with a draw, moved all the way up to 6 points. But their odds to make safety continue to fall, now under 1 in 5. Latest projection is that they would need to get to 42 points, play West Ham next. Ipswich, with the loss to Newcastle, is at 12 points, about even odds to escape, but a couple of tough games to finish up the first half, Arsenal and Chelsea. The Wolves beat Leicester to also reach 12 points, but that was not enough to avoid being placed in the realistically out of the title category. They could not achieve the likely need even by winning out. Leicester, with that loss to the Wolves, find themselves now in the danger zone, just 2 points removed. They get to play Liverpool next, so don't look for things to get better soon. Crystal Palace lost to Arsenal to remain too close for comfort to the safety line themselves. Finish up the first half with Bournemouth and Southampton. Everton with another nice tie, the latest against Chelsea. So 2 ties against 2 of the top teams in a row. That might be what keeps them out of relegation at the end of the day. Currently 3 out of 4 chances to maintain safety. That's it for now. Enjoy your day.